Growing up obsessed with the antics of this blue rodent in sneakers, I never would have imagined that one of these days there would be a whole convention dedicated to this video game character I spent most of my childhood days playing, reading, watching and drawing. And yet there is, and it's called Summer of Sonic. This fan-run but officially endorsed convention took place annually from 2008 to 2013, and of those 6 occasions, I managed to attend 4 of them. While there hasn't been a new Summer of Sonic in a few years now, 2016 will see its welcome return thanks to a successful Kickstarter campaign. This has made me start thinking about just how much this convention means to me and all the memories it holds. My journey began in 2009. Located in the old Truman Brewery on Brick Lane in London, I have to admit on my first time going it was almost a little overwhelming for me. Being the first one I got to experience, I was still surprised this was even a thing at all, and had no idea what to expect, other than the fact that for the first time since I went to the 6th birthday party in Hamleys as a kid, I'd be in a room filled with Sonic fans.
As the event opened, we were gifted with this lovely little art book exclusive to the show. Shaped and sized just like a Mega Drive manual and full of various images of Sonic over the years. What a fantastic little freebie to walk away with. We also ended up with massive Sega stamps on our hand for re-entry. Mine conveniently just said "GAH". This huge room had various areas dedicated to games, artwork, merchandise and comics, as well as the stage with a DJ playing every Sonic song you could think of, even scraping the bottom of the barrel with such hits as Right Said Fred's Wonder Man. On the stage they had events every hour or so, including Q&A sessions, screenings of fan animations, and competitions including a quiz show called Nevermind the Buzz Bombers, see what they did there, and a cosplay contest. One of this convention's traditions is to have a display cabinet full of rare collectibles, and every year it became a tradition for me and my friends to have a go at stealing it. We never got very far.
It's alright though, because now I've got one of my own. Yeah.
Consoles were set up with various Sonic games, most importantly upcoming games such as Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics, and an early build of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, hosted by Sumo Digital themselves. I didn't get time to play any of these because every time I got in the queue for a few minutes, something was happening up on the stage, and if I had to choose between playing a game that will eventually be out and a one-off event, I think I'll pick the one-off. Having said that, I do have a particularly fun memory linked to Sumo Digital's attendance. I doodled this daft comic on my train journey there and gave it to Sumo Digital's Steve Lysett and Travis Ryan, who thought it was so funny they displayed it above the game screen for the rest of the day.
Also, during the Q&A session they asked the audience which Sega character they would like to see in the game. I suggested Fantasy Zone's Opa Opa, who funnily enough turned out in the final release, so you can thank me for that one if you like. Even though I'm sure they already thought of that on the own and I didn't really... Opa Opa! One of the absolute highlights of my day had to be meeting Nigel Kitchen and Nigel Dobbin, who were both major players in the creation of Sonic the Comic.
Kitchen was a writer and artist for the majority of the comic's lifespan, and Dobbin was most well known for illustrating the Knuckles stories. I grew up on these comics and they had a big influence on how I draw, in particular Kitchen's artwork for the Decap Attack comic. For most of the day they were at a table signing things and sketching for people too, and they also held a Q&A on stage. One of the first things I did on the day was visit their table, on which I got a couple comics signed and this doodle of Chuck T. Head from Kitchen, donning an afro for some reason. Can't really remember why. Nigel Dobbin also had a large portfolio laid out full of original hand-painted art he did for the comic. The artwork was painted on A2 card, much bigger than they appeared in print. Not only were they stunning to look at in the flesh or ink, but they were for sale for just 20 quid a page. I wasn't expecting there to be anything here to buy, so I arrived pretty short-changed. So I only bought one page, though looking back I wish I hurried out to an ATM so I could have grabbed a couple more. Getting the art back home was nerve-wracking as I had nothing to carry it in, so the entire journey back I was begging for it to stay sunny out and willing to murder anyone that would dare damage it. Still, the page I did get is a stunner and has been hanging framed on my wall ever since.
So to say that my first experience of Summer of Sonic exceeded my expectations would be an understatement. Most importantly, I got to meet friends that I've known online for years for the first time, many of which had to fly in from other countries. But Summer of Sonic would only get better from here as we go into 2010. This time the event took place in an even larger room of the pavilion in Shepherd's Bush. Just as well too, as the turnout was over 1,000 fans in all. This was the first time Cherry Terrier tagged along for the madness too.
A freebie at the door this time was an orange swimming bag full of goodies including a Summer of Sonic lanyard, an Archie Sonic comic, and best of all, this fantastic Metal Sonic minifigure by First 4 Figures. We were lucky to actually get one of the last of these goodie bags, though there were still hundreds of the Metal Sonic figurines for the rest of the massive queue.
They said there was about 500, weren't there?
Yeah, about 500, and I think we got one of the last ones. Over here it looks like they're selling Archie comic pages, originals, that's pretty cool. Comics galore here. This is Sonic the Comic Online, which is the current continuation, and they've actually done printed versions of the comics, as you can see. Books, you've got animation cells from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. These are apparently for sale, so...
We bumped into Darren Indeed of SegaShiro.com and won some Sonic PC games from him for shouting a quote that only listeners of their first podcast would have known to say to him.
I'm out of here! I'm out of here!
Games being demoed for us to play included Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Sonic Colors. While I was trying out Colors on the Wii, a Nintendo staff member asked for our written consent to be in an official video, which appeared on the old Wii Nintendo channel. Look, there we are in the background. Out of focus. They needed permission for our blurry faces. S.T.C's Nigel Dobbin was back, this time with large prints of brand new artwork made exclusively for the convention, including this collaboration with Nigel Kitchen of the cast of Decap Attack. This has also been framed on my wall ever since. My mate Ewan was once again cosplaying as Dr. Robotnik, but this time he had gone to the brave effort of shaving his hair off. Now that's dedication, and it paid off as he won the cosplay contest this year.
It's decided. The winner of the cosplay contest 2010, Dr.
During 2010's Never Mind the Buzz Bombers quiz, there was a question about something from last year's Summer of Sonic that took us by surprise.
According to a comic Sumo Digital made at last year's Summer of Sonic, why was Sonic in a car? Because he just
That
is.
was mine.
That's right, the comic I made for Sumo Digital last year inspired this question.
I don't think you're going to get this. The actual reason was so he could run over people who complained that he was in a car. What is the name of the robot that kidnaps and holds Amy Rose?
While we were there, we even got to meet Sonic himself. It's been a while, mate. I hope your assistant, who just so happens to be Lewis from Sega Driven, helped you navigate without bumping into walls this time. Finally, to wrap the day up, none other than Crush 40, the band behind many of Sonic's cheesy lyrical tunes in games like Sonic Adventure 2, were here to perform said cheesy lyrical tunes live.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnson Lloyd, Mr. Johnny Lloyd, Crush 40!
In part 2, I'll be reminiscing about the Summer of Sonic events from 2011 and 2012. So, see you there, I suppose.
Just a flippin' hedgehog, okay?